Hello, my name is Nick, and this is Zumb's Travel Blog. Today I will be talking about my employer in Germany. So my co-op employer was Crown Gabelstapler, which translates to Crown Forklift. It's a branch of Crown Equipment Corporation from the US, so it's an American company, but this is their German, European, Middle Eastern, Asia headquarters. I am co-oping with them in the spring and the summer of 2025. Their headquarters for Europe is in Feldkirchen, Germany, which is by Munich in Bavaria. They also in Germany have a factory in Roding, which I've also gone to for some of my work. Quick history of the company. They make forklifts and other material handling solutions. They started in New Bremen, Ohio, and are a family-owned business, though they're a massive international business, but they are still owned by the Dickey family. And something that I find funny is that they do some other random things too, like they have a catering company, a landscaping company, and also they run an airport. I work in the systems and software division in Feldkirchen Engineering. So we primarily work on like the programming and vehicle systems of the forklifts. In Feldkirchen specifically, we are working on Crown's European trucks, which tend to be slightly different than Americans. They tend to be smaller because European warehouses tend to be smaller than American ones. And we also do some work adapting American trucks to the European market. As for work culture, it's very similar to the culture in the US, which for me I felt was very friendly and welcoming, and everyone there seemed to get along well and generally try and have a good time. Here it's a little bit more laid back. One difference is everyone kind of eats lunch together. Lots of conversation and people getting to know each other during lunch. And I find I'd say a little bit less than business casual. Like I have some coworkers who wore like a plain white t-shirt and a jeans to work, and that seems pretty normal, though people, I guess, higher up dress nicer, so it kind of varies. Some other details about working in Germany is generally like the standard work week is 39 hours, which for most people that's like 8 hours, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then 7 hours on Friday. So people generally will be leaving early on Friday because they'll generally work more than 8 hours earlier in the week. So sometimes Friday afternoons are kind of empty in the office. For the full-time employees in Germany, I think 20 days of vacation is standard. Crown tends to give 30 days of vacation, which that's days, so that's more than a month of vacation. So there's a lot of people who will take off a week or two here, or I had one coworker who got like a full month. Another thing with like the crewing hours, so if you need to work 39 hours, but if you work more than that, you kind of have like an account where you gain those hours and then you can spend them to take a day off, which is nice, and that's where I got my days off because my contract did not have any vacation. Though one thing that is, for me, getting hours difficult is Germany, if you work more than 6 hours, you have to take a 30-minute break. So your lunch break, okay, makes sense. And then if you work more than 9 hours, you need to take another 30-minute break. And at that point, I'm not working anymore, but the day tends to maxes out at 10 hours or 12 hours if you are traveling. Another thing I found interesting about work in Germany is that while the company I'm at is not unionized, unions are quite common, but what we do have is like a workers' council, and so there's two members that are elected, I think every 4 years, and basically they help sit on like the directors, and they work with management to run the company effectively. So the workers have like a say in how the company is run, which I thought was very interesting. That to me were the big differences between work in the US versus in Germany. People tended to, while it was still very hybrid work, people tended to value being in person a lot more. So that was nice for me because I want to be in person. That was my experience working with Crown Gabelstapler in Germany. This has been Thumb's Travel Blog.